Okay, good day everyone. So today I'm going to discuss about the Olympian gods and goddesses. According in myth, the Olympian gods and goddesses were the children of Titan, Rhea, and Kronos. When Kronos took over control to the universe by castrating his father Uranus, he feared that one of his children would overthrow him. To prevent this, he consumed each of his children as they were born. However, Rhea, his wife, was able to save her youngest son, named Zeus, by tricking Kronos into a swallowing rock wrapped in a swaddling clothes. When Zeus grew into adulthood, he led a rebellion against his father, Kronos. By the help of her sister and other powerful being, he was able to overthrow him, and he established the Olympian gods and goddesses as a new ruler of the universe. Before we will go deeper to our discussion, let's have first a warm-up exercise. Name these given 5 gods and goddesses. First, that is Demeter, the goddess of agriculture. Second, that is Aphrodite, the goddess of love, beauty, and procreation. Third, that is Dionysus, the goddess of wine, viticulture, and wild vegetation. Fourth, that is Artemis, the goddess of hunting. And lastly, that is Apollo, the twin brother of Artemis, the god of music and the god of prophecy. There are 12 gods and goddesses reside in Mount Olympus. First, that is Zeus. Zeus was the youngest child of the Titan Kronos and Rhea. Kronos devoured each of his children as they born. Both Zeus, but Zeus escaped this fate when his mother spirited him away, handing the Titan a stone substitute wrapped in a swaddling cloth. The god was raised in secrecy in on Mount Dicte, where he was nursed by nymphs. Zeus married his sister Hera. The second goddess, who reside in Olympus is Hera. Hera is the queen of the gods and the wife of Zeus. Hera was the goddess of women and the god of marriages. She was also a goddess of the sky and stars. Hera is the daughter of Kronos and Rhea. Hera was usually depicted as a beautiful woman wearing a crown and holding a royal lotus-tipped scepter, and sometimes accompanied by a lion, cuckoo, or hawk. Her marriage to Zeus, who seduced her in a guise of cuckoo bird. The birth of Hephaestus, who she produced alone without a father and cast from heaven, he was born crippled. Hera, like her siblings, was swallowed by her father Kronos as soon as she was born. Zeus, with the help of Metis, later tricked Kronos into swallowing a potion that forced him to disgorge his offspring. The third gods in Mount Olympus is Poseidon. Poseidon was the Olympian god of the sea, earthquakes, floods, drought, and horses. He was depicted as a mature man with a sturdy build and dark beard, holding a trident, a three-pronged fisherman's spear. Birth, Poseidon was swallowed whole by his father Kronos, but Zeus later enlisted the head of the goddess Metis, who feed the Titan a magical elixir, causing him to disgorge the god. During the War of the Titans, the Cyclops crafted a magical trident for Poseidon, and together with his brothers Zeus and Hades, he defeated the elder gods and imprisoned them in Tartarus. Poseidon and his brother drew lots of the division of the cosmos after the fall of the Titans and won the sea as his domain. The fourth goddess who resides in Mount Olympus is Demeter. She was born of the union between Cronos and Rhea. Hestia was the eldest sister, then came Hera, then Demeter. After the sisters were born, then came the brothers, first Hades, the second Poseidon, and finally the youngest, Zeus. Although she is mostly known as a green goddess, she also appeared as a god of health, birth, and marriage, and had connection to the underworld. The second child of the Titan, Rhea, and Cronos, and sister to Hestia, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus. Demeter, one of the 12 great Olympian gods. Demeter was the goddess of agriculture. And the fifth goddess who resides in Mount Olympus is Aphrodite. One of the ruling 12 great Olympians, she was the goddess of love, beauty, and procreation. Alongside Zeus and Hera, she was also the leader of the Theogamelio, or the god of marriage. Aphrodite was born from the white foam produced by the severed genitals of Uranus, the personification of heaven, after his son Cronos threw them into the sea. Hence, the goddess' name comes from the Greek word apros, meaning foam. And the sixth goddess who resides in Mount Olympus is Athena, one of the 12 great Olympians. Athena was the goddess of war, fortification, and the defense of towns. Athena was the daughter of Zeus, produced without a mother, so that she emerged full-grown from his forehead. There was an alternative story that Zeus swallowed Metis, the goddess of counsel, while she was pregnant with Athena, so that Athena finally emerged from Zeus. Being the favorite child of Zeus, she had a great power. The next goddess who lives in Mount Olympus is Artemis. Artemis was the daughter of Zeus and Leto, and the twin sister of Apollo. Among the rural populace, Artemis was the favorite goddess. Her character and function named greatly from place to place, but apparently behind all forms lay the goddess of wild nature, who danced, usually accompanied by nymphs in mountains, forests, and marshes. Next god who resides on Mount Olympus is Apollo, one of the 12 great Olympian gods. He was the god of music, prophecy, and healing. He is the son of Zeus and Leto, with twin brother of Artemis, the goddess of hunt, seen as the most beautiful god and the ideal of the Cronos. Apollo is known in Greek, influence, and Etruscan mythology as Apollo. The ninth god who resides in Mount Olympus is Ares, the great Olympian god of war and the conflict. He was the leader of Platio Plumikio, or god of war. Ares, he represented the distasteful aspect of brutal warfare and slaughter. From at least the time of Homer, who established him as the son of the chief god Zeus and Hera, he was accompanied in battle by his sister Eris and his son by Aphrodite, Phobos, and Deimos, the panic and wrath. He is associated with the two lesser war deities, Enelios, who is virtually identical with Ares himself, and Inu, a female counterpart. The next god who reside in Mount Olympus is Hephaestus. Hephaestus was the craftsman god presiding over metalworking, building, sculpture, and artistry. Hephaestus, son of Zeus and Hera. He was Hera's Panthenogeous child. He was east of Mount Olympus by his mother Hera because of his lameness. The next god is Hermes, one of the 12 great Olympian gods. He was the herald of Zeus and the gods of herds and flocks, the country arts, travel, trade, merchants, and thievery. Hermes is able to move quickly and freely between the worlds of the mortal and the divine, aided by his winged sandals. Hermes plays the role of the psychopomp or soul guide, a conductor of souls into the afterlife. Hermes is the son of Zeus and Peleid Maya. Next god is Dionysus. Dionysus was the son of Zeus and Semele, a daughter of Cadmus, king of Thebes. Out of the jealousy, Hera, the wife of Zeus, persuaded the pregnant of Semele to to prove her lover's divinity by requesting that he appear in his real person. Dionysus, one of the 12 great Olympian gods, he was the god of wine, viticulture, and wild vegetation. The last goddess is Hestia, the virgin goddess of the hearth, the right ordering of domesticity, the family, and the home, and the state. Hestia, along with four of her five siblings, was devoured by her father Cronos as an infant due to his fear of being overthrown by one of his offspring, and was only freed when her youngest brother Zeus forced their father to disgorge the children he had eaten. Cronos and the rest of the Titan were cast down, and Hestia then became one of the Olympian goddess. What I've learned in my discussion is that the Olympian gods and goddesses were the children of the Titan Cronos and Rhea. When Cronos overtook control to the universe by castrating his father, and he feared that one of his children would overthrow him. And to escape that fate, he consumed each of his children as they were born. With Rhea's spirited, when Rhea was spirited, he was able to save her youngest son Zeus. When Zeus grew to adulthood, he led a rebellion against his father Cronos. With the help of her sister and other powerful beings, he was able to overthrow him and establish the Olympian gods and goddesses as the new ruler of the universe rather. We must keep in mind that Zeus is the great king of the god, Hera is the queen of the god, Poseidon is the king of the sea, Demeter is the goddess of agriculture, Aphrodite is the goddess of beauty, love, and procreation, Athena is the goddess of war, Ares is the god of war and conflict. Next is Artemis is the goddess of hunting, Apollo is the god of music and the god of prophecy, Hestia is the virgin god of hearth, Dionysus is the god of wine, viticulture, and wild vegetation. Upon studying my report, I have obtained that The Olympian gods and goddesses represented an important ideals and features of human condition such as um, justice, loyalty, wisdom, beautiful music, and changing and season. It also offers valuable life lessons. Some themes such as courage, determination, love, jealousy, faithfulness, and etc. We cannot understand the present if we doesn't understand the past. And that was my reflection of today's. Thank you.